morning, friends, and welcome to my backyard. So most normal people would film this introduction in their house, but I much prefer it out here. So here we are. Welcome to this week's vlog. What we are going to capture this week is a week's full of breakfasts. 7 days of what we, the farmers, eat for breakfast. Now, a few things to keep in mind is that we eat, as a family of 4, for under $80 every week. Now, that does mean that I do a monthly budget, so I do a few larger grocery hauls for staples that we then split up throughout the month, but that actually gets added into our weekly cost every week. And then we probably spend about $40 every week on fresh local produce or any of those extras we might need for a special recipe. Now, we will be doing breakfast, lunches, dinners, and extras. However, we're going to split this up into different weeks. So for this week, starting February 1st, we are going to be doing our breakfasts. And then next week we'll be doing lunches, dinners the following week, and then the last week we'll be doing all of our extras. Fermented foods, or kefirs, and anything else we decide to throw in there. So today is February 1st. It is a snow day here on the farm. And for breakfast, Rob is making us donuts. This is something he started doing a few months back. He makes them gluten-free, sometimes not. And he's the baker. So you'll be seeing a lot of Rob this week. When it comes to lunches, it's a little bit of everyone. And then dinners tend to be me, but we mix that up sometimes too. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. What I'm going to do is I will show you the clips of the monthly haul that we did, that we got, how much that cost, as well as the breakdown for this first week. And then you'll obviously see the breakfasts that we make with the food. I'm also going to include some shots of the refrigerator in my pantry beforehand, because let's be real, it's usually pretty well stocked as well. Because I buy things when I see them, not necessarily when I see them and they're on sale. So if I happen to see something at a great deal, I may get 4 of them and that'll last me a year. Just another little trick I've picked up along the way. So I will share those this week as we get going, and I hope you enjoy our breakfast journey. And here we have the pantry. This is where I keep a lot of the bulk things that we do buy, particularly in the beginning of the month. A lot of the larger items stay in here. There's rice and there's quinoa, and here you'll see some textured vegetable protein. I use that as a replacement in things that usually require ground beef because we just don't eat it. Noodles, pasta, again a lot of rice. Some juices that I'll use to make things sometimes, but this is just kind of, like I said, the pantry things. And then nuts and dried fruit is our go-to snack. So we have a bunch of that, as well as dried beans, and then dates. Dates are one of our favorite snacks. Here we have our Lazy Susan. This is where a lot of the smaller items that we do use are kept. As you can see, there is vinegars and oils, dressings, peanut butter, and all of those things in the cabinets that you use to make all your meals more delicious. There's no sound on this because the squeak on the Lazy Susan, I think, would make everybody's ears bleed. But this is where we like to keep a lot of the quick grab things, breadcrumbs, cranberry sauce. Right here, that's some dried squash that I dehydrated last year. Lots of coconut milk. We love coconut milk. Currants, maple syrup. We have some canned soups and things, but not really that much. Yeah, that's our Lazy Susan. This is our upstairs freezer. I won't show you the downstairs one that literally just has chickens and turkeys in it. But here we have some of the things that we keep in the upstairs freezer. We have some fruit, we have some dog food, raw dog food. I keep my herbs up here that I've dried. We have some ice cubes there. But basil, dill, parsley, all from the garden. And then there's some avocado and some ginger down there. This freezer honestly doesn't. Chickpeas, we have our sauerkraut. Then we have our milk shelf, which is oat milk and regular milk, which we use for kefir. Then we have eggs and some dips. Got some raspberries back there. A lot of leftovers. The fridge either has prepared foods or leftovers. There's just some turkey necks for the animals. Like I said, we raw feed the animals. Then in the door is where we have a lot of the condiments. Oh look, more dates. I told you, we really like dates. Oh, this is like the mustards, the ketchups, the soy sauces, the Worcestershires. You know, everybody has this in their refrigerator. So yeah, that about does it for our pantry and what we already have. Next I'm going to go over, so here's just a listing of the cost of everything that we bought this week. We spent $75.75 at a little bit of everything and $21.90 at the Asian American Market and $19.98 at Job Lot. So all of that combined was $117.63, which is the total that we will then divide by 4, which means from that $29 a week will be from our staples, which gives us $50 a week in fresh food to play around with. This week we happened to only spend $27 from our kids' farm, which is a local farm, as you can see there. So our total this week for breakfast, lunches, and dinners ended up being $56. This happened to be a really low week. We had a lot of pantry staples, but I'd say we did pretty good. So this is all of the staples that we did get when we went shopping. As you can see here, we have King Arthur all-purpose flour, whole wheat flour, bread flour. We get this at a little bit of everything. It is in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and it's a discount grocery store. I've been going there for years to get pantry staples at a very discounted price. And then here we have the tapioca starch, we have the rice flour, as well as the glutinous rice flour, and the potato starch. These were all bought from an Asian American market in Cranston. They have amazing prices, and we eat. All right, and here we have some raisins, some rice noodles, and all the other things that we get at both the Asian American market and a little bit of everything. We have some chickpeas, some mung beans, some chili powder, dried beans. I get them when they're $3 or less a bag, especially for the organic things like hemp hearts. These aren't things that we necessarily needed, but when I see them at the prices that I know are the lowest I'm going to be able to find them, that's when I pick them up, which is why our budget does shift every month. Rob likes to have some granola bars on hand, so we have these, and then these tortilla chips are actually 2 for $1, so I do get them when I do go because it ends up being a quick meal for us that week. I know when we saw the Lazy Susan, it didn't look like I needed more peanut butter, but we make peanut butter cookies quite a lot, and so this jar will be gone in about 3 servings of cookies. This is the Job Lot syrup that I mentioned before, and then some organic strawberries, some cranberries, and some hot cereal. Oh, and we had some fondant there. We use that for powdered sugar and for baking. And lastly, this is all of our fresh stuff from our kids' farm, which is local to us here in Exeter, Rhode Island. I don't like all the plastic, but COVID times call for a little more sanitary restrictions. So we have here some carrots, some white potatoes, some sweet potatoes, cremini mushrooms, kale, onions, and apples. And this will round out what we eat this week. Stay tuned to watch what we do with it.
So here we are, starting off with donuts this week, because who doesn't like donuts? They're a big hit in the house, and everybody seems to enjoy them, so we figured we would make some, or I figured I'd make some cinnamon and sugar donut holes. They ended up delicious. Here's a little bit of the process into how we made them. They will be made again. This was a recipe that we wrote down. It's going in on the index card and in the recipe box. Highly recommend. Next came bagels. We haven't had bagels in a while, and it was something I had some curiosity into making. It was a lot of fun. I mean, you sit there and you prepare the dough ahead of time, and then you actually boil the bagels. And the purpose of boiling the bagels is all determining the chewiness of the bagel. And it's anywhere from like 20 seconds to a minute, and it was fun to play with. I mean, the end result was fantastic. We're actually going to be doing some everything bagels in the future. We did the cinnamon raisin, of course. Yeah, it was something fun and exciting, and if you've never put baking soda in boiling water, you should do it. It was something neat. Alright, and lastly we did chocolate croissants, and this one is, I mean, just fun from the start. It's a lot of dedication and work, but it's completely worth it. Chocolate croissants happen to be one of Shanna's favorites, so that had a little bit of added interest into my making this. So the making the dough to the folding it with butter, I mean, it was a whole boatload of fun, and again the end result was fantastic. We're going to do this again. It's not something we will do weekly, of course, because it is quite time consuming, but special treats or special days, it's definitely worthwhile into investing your time and energy and seeing the joy of the end result.
It's mainly oats. I usually put in shredded coconut. This week we had raisins and peanuts and slivered almonds and cranberries. And then I simply take about 1.5 cups of coconut oil, a couple tablespoons of maple syrup, mix those together, and I mix it into the oats and put it in the oven for 11 minutes at 425. We eat this with milk kefir or just plain milk, and it is delicious. Well, that does it, friends. That was our week of breakfasts. Hope you enjoyed. The few that we did not show is you did see the making of the granola. However, we mixed that in with milk kefir, which we will be showing you in just a few weeks, so stay tuned for that. We made pancakes one morning for some friends when they slept over. And then the other thing that we had for breakfast, which was not shown, was oatmeal. That's honestly our go-to breakfast in the winter. Everybody kind of makes it for themselves. If you have any questions about the meals that we made this week, please leave them in the comments below. I will be leaving all of the recipes we used in the description box, just so if there's something you would like to make, you can make it as well. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us. We love you.